Turn this to this. Hello everyone, my name is Hayward, one of the head bakers here at The Big Bakes, and today I'll be showing you how to bring this tutti frutti cake to life with these 5 easy steps. Step 1, what we're going to do is carve our lovely sponges into more of a pineapple shape. So I've gone for a pineapple, but obviously this is a tutti frutti vibe, so you can pretty much do any sort of fruit or tropical fruit that you like. Watermelons, kiwis are quite good as well. So I'm just going for a rounded shape at the top and then at the bottom as well. I'm just going to slightly bring it in. Okay, so once you're happy with your general shape that you've got from the carving, which I am with this, we're going to move on to our next stage, which is filling the layers with some buttercream. So essentially this is just some American buttercream that I've coloured yellow to give you that nice vibrant look. And what I'm going to do now is just gently separate my layers and then just apply a small amount of buttercream between the layers. So I'm just going to go in with a thin layer of buttercream, applying it to the center and then just using my angled palette knife just to gently spread it around. I've actually put some pineapple essence into the sponges as well, just so we're getting the full pineapple flavour, but you can obviously colour your sponges whatever colour, depending on what fruit you're making. So now, once we've got our cake all stacked up, so we've got it carved, we've got it filled, and then I'm just going to go around with a thin crumb coat. So our crumb coat will just essentially trap all those crumbs and give us a nice flat smooth foundation and stop any crumbs from transferring to our outer layer. So once we've crumb coated, which I have done now, I'm going to move on to my next stage, which is some piping. Into one hand the piping bag goes, and then I'm just going to spoon it in. If you can see any air bubbles, you just want to gently sort of flatten it down just to work out any of the air pockets. And then we're just going to move it down to the end. So I've gone for a star tip, just to give you that sort of nice textured look, and then we're just going to pipe all the way along. What I like to do is pipe in slightly sort of diagonal lines, just to be more reminiscent of an actual pineapple rather than going exactly straight down. It gives a bit of a sort of nice look. So we're just going to go in quite close to the cake, and then gentle pressure and bring up. And then you're just going to carry on that as you go along. So I think I'm happy with that. I've gone all the way around, I've covered my top as well. So now we're going to move on to the next stage. Okay, so we're on to step 4 now, which is doing the pineapple leaves out of fondant. I've worked it in my hands first to get it nice and pliable, and then I'm just going to flatten it slightly, and then we're going to roll it out. So we've got a rolling pin, I've got a nice silicone mat here, so we've got a non-stick surface. If you don't have a silicone mat, you can just use a bit of baking paper. It's also a good idea if you've got some icing sugar or some corn flour, you can just lightly dust your surface. So we're going for quite a thin thickness, not too thick, because we do want it to look quite realistic, but at the same time we want it to have some structure. So what we're going to do now is just grab a small sharp knife and we're going to cut our leaf shapes. And then we've got some cocktail sticks right here that we're just going to gently insert in. You can leave it as is, or you can give it a bit of texture. So I just like to run the blunt side of the knife just gently down, just to create some veining work. And then I'm just going to go in with some more lines. And you are going to want to set these aside to set or dry, just so they've got a bit more structure for when you're going to put it onto your pineapple. Okay, so we're going to move on to the facial features now, which is our next step. We've got our leaves drying, and then I'm going to move on to some eyes and some little rosy cheeks, and then also a smiley face. So I've got some black fondant here. I'm just going to roll that out quite thinly. So I've got quite a large nozzle here. It's got a nice rounded shape. So I'm just going to use that as a cutter. And then I'm going to move on to some white. So I'm just softening some white fondant, and then I'm going in again, flattening it, and then going in with a smaller round nozzle, just gently pressing down. And then it's just a matter of placing them onto our black base, main part of the eye. Just pick it up gently, place it down. So now for some rosy cheeks, I'm just going in with a slightly smaller nozzle. We've got our flat pink fondant, and then just cutting out circles, just like so. Back in with the black fondant, just to make a smiley face. So for that, I'm just going to roll out a small sausage of black fondant, and then we're just going to curve that upwards into a cute little smiley face. So this is my favourite part of the bake, when it's all coming together and you can really see all the hard work and all the different stages paying off. Nice, yeah. So the pineapple leaves. So it really does help letting them firm up a bit, gives it a lot more structure. It's kind of a necessary step. Okay, so I've finished placing all my pineapple leaves now. I'm really happy with that. I think it looks so cute. So you can add as many or as little leaves as you like, and I think it really does help doing the varying sizes. So you can do some of the smaller ones at the front and then the larger ones standing in the middle, kind of looks like a crown. I think it's quite creative, quite effective. So there you have it, our Tutti Frutti pineapple cake. Make sure you comment below how you got on and subscribe for more recipes, tips, and baking joy.